information workshop with the VDOT secondary plan, 6-year secondary plan to order. And turn it over to you, Mr. Thornton.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, in front of you, I've got the current year draft plan. And then before we get too far in the weeds on that, I just wanted to go through a few updates from last year's plan, because there are some pretty significant changes to it. We recently had some new guidance come out on the rural additions. So currently, our code allows for 5% of the construction formula funds to be used for rural additions. However, those funds haven't been distributed for a while.
We got extra money.
Which means the
Good
code
news.
is no longer applicable.
Which means what?
Code section isn't applicable anymore because it allows for the distribution of those funds, or allows for 5% of the distribution, but since we don't get that money, it's 5% of nothing. So it's not applicable.
Why don't we get the money?
It's not sent to us anymore. It's been a change that's
You think
happened
that's
for a
all
while.
the money you have?
No, sir. It's just, it hasn't been given to us for a while. So
That's
previously,
unkind. That's unkind.
we were allowed to set aside some of the telefee money to go through and fund the rural additions. However, the code's been re-reviewed and it does not allow this. So what does that all mean? It means that any rural addition that hadn't been started is no longer funded with telefees. And the rural addition funds balance entry that was on the old plan, we had to take that money and reprogram it somewhere else.
So is this sheet any good?
Yeah, that's the new sheet. It's the old sheet that has the old rural additions on it. So the rural additions that were on last year's plan were Albemarle Avenue and Piedmont Avenue, which totaled about $107,000 in funds. And then your rural addition balance entry last year totaled $340,000. So that money has now been reprogrammed into Harts Mill. We took the district grant unpaved money and put that into Harts Mill because that was the next project on the plan that needed funding. And then any of your telefee money that was previously programmed into your rural addition balance entry and any future telefee has been now programmed into your countywide traffic services, which is the last line on the second sheet.
Is West Green Springs done?
Sorry. West Green Springs, we still need a rural rustic resolution for that before we can get started.
Do we have money for that?
Yes, sir. It is,
Okay,
it
that's
is,
fully funded.
it is fully funded.
Okay.
One of the things I did want to talk to the board about is it's been fully funded and top of the plan now for about 2 years.
What are we waiting on? What are we waiting on?
Well, we need the rural rustic addition, resolution to be able to start the project. So if the board can give me that resolution, we can start the project at any point. Or if it needs to be dropped down lower on the priority list, we can do that and then accelerate Harts Mill and just fund West Green Springs in the out years.
Poplar Avenue is fully funded too?
Yes, sir.
And is that finished?
No, sir, that will start this spring.
That's starting this spring. It's fully funded. So, do we know we're waiting on this resolution?
A new, jog my memory, Scott. Why were we waiting on that?
So previously, Supervisor Jones had wanted to hold off because there was new guidance coming out to allow us to spend rural rustic funds and the roads still remain gravel.
Right.
So she wanted to make sure that the road would remain gravel. So we adjusted it in the plan to where it says that the road's going to remain gravel. But at this point, we still haven't received a resolution for it. And like I said, it's been at the top of the plan and kind of funded that way for 2 years now. So
So could we do that resolution tonight?
It's got to take a specific format, Scott, or?
it's just our standard rural rustic resolution. You could do it Yeah, so, I mean, you could do it tonight, or you could do it at the next board meeting, and then we could start it if that's the board's decision.
Seems like we should do that. Yeah?
Let's just put it, I mean, Rachel's not here, you know, maybe we can put that on the next agenda if it's not, is it urgent that we do it tonight?
No, it doesn't have to be done tonight. We're just talking about the plan and the priorities,
You're also
so.
talking about if it's not important to relocating it and allocating money somewhere else.
Right. Well, it would just
This
basically.
is just work session tonight.
I know, but I did hear him say that. If it's not important, moving it down, and we'll put the funds to the next one in line. That's what you just said, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think it is important, is it not? It's been in line. I mean, is there any reason it's not important?
No, I was just asking, is it so important that it must happen in 2 hours, or can it happen in
It's not like the funds are going away.
No, sir.
Okay.
So with that, the other change that is in this plan is the previous termini for Harts Mill. We went through and looked at that, and with the addition of the district grant unpaved that we pulled from the two rural additions, we looked at the termini, and the old termini left Harts Mill shorted from connecting to Rolling Road by about a half a mile. So we just extended it. So with the completion of this rural rustic, Harts Mill will be hard surfaced all the way. So this basically takes the entire section of Harts Mill.
All right. So, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Tom.
No, I don't, I haven't formulated mine. I'm still thinking of it. Go ahead.
Use your mic.
The secondary roads that are already paved, what does the funding come from that keeps those maintained and repaved, I guess?
So that comes through
Maintenance?
the General Assembly, and it's part of our maintenance budget. That comes through VDOT, and then it's allocated down to the districts, and then the district allocation allocates it down to the residencies.
And then the residents, and what I'm getting at is when you travel, the roads appear to be getting in pretty bad shape in a lot of places. And I don't know whether VDOT's funding is just cut back, but when you come through on 640, West Old Mountain and on through, that road's getting pretty bad shape, but then another road is Viger Road. That, it won't be long before that's back to a dirt road. I mean, it's so many potholes, and the patchwork is breaking up so that it's, and I know that, I didn't think that came through rural rustic or any of that kind of stuff, so I'm just, what do we do to get those currently paved roads maintained, because they're falling apart?
So if you're talking about the annual resurfacing schedule, that's evaluated annually, and the roads are put on the schedule based on their condition rating as well as their traffic count. So at a certain point on the paving curve, they look at what's called preventative maintenance, restorative maintenance, and we have different buckets of money that are funded from our central office, and just depends on how the road
Can I
fits
ask the
into that
question a
bucket.
different way? Because
Yeah.
I don't think it's what he's asking. Does the residency have enough money to maintain the condition of the roads in the county with the current funding level you're getting? Is that the better way to ask the question?
Probably
So
sounds
they allocate money to the residencies in the paving schedule. I don't actually get the money.
No.
Does that make sense?
The question, that's not the question. The question is, are they allocating enough money to keep our roads in good condition, and you just can't keep up with it, you can't get it done, or are you're doing everything you have all the money for? I think that's the question you're asking.
Yeah, we pave everything. We don't leave money on the table in the paving program, and we usually overspend it a little bit.
Okay.
I guess a follow-up to that would be, I mean, we've got a list here for the rural rustic, roads that may be upgraded and that kind of thing. Could we get or do you have a list of what schedule to be, the maintenance be brought up? Because some of these roads are getting in pretty
And you have-
bad shape.
You have three levels of maintenance you just said? Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's preventative, restorative, and then basically a full-on rebuild.
So do you have that schedule for the year proposed?
Yeah, it's online. It's,
Okay.
it gets bid. It gets bid annually and awarded. So that's when I talk about like the schedule resurfacing. That happens between April and November. That is bid out.
So
every
the
year,
answer
so
to his
those
question
roads-
is, you do have it, and it's available online.
yes, sir.
How do you get there?
Yeah,
Just
that's,
you just go to our website and look at projects, and it's
Just go to
on there for
vdot.com.
VirginiaDOT.org, I believe, or Virginia.
And
Roads.
then,
Under
yeah,
projects.
yeah,
it'll
that's
be
a
under
big
retail.
site. And then
Yeah.
can you get to Louisa?
I'll send you all the link.
yeah,
Okay, there you go. Hey, now you're getting somewhere.
Finally took the hint.
There you
But
go.
it is available online.
I,
So-
I appreciate that, but that doesn't do a lot of good if you don't know how to get there.
You need a map. Oh, need GPS.
I need a list.
A
like
GPS.
this.
You go get your, he'll get you one. You can print it out.
I think he is. Took a
So
while,
these
but-
telefees, you said we can't use telefees anymore?
So telefees can be used for secondary roads that are currently in the state system. You cannot use telefees for rural additions.
Okay, so we're still getting our telefee money. Okay, that wasn't clear.
Yes.
I heard there was a problem with telefees, and it sounded like we weren't having it anymore. So we can, if it's already in the system, we can use it. If it's an addition, we can't use it.
Correct.
The district grant unpaved, that we can use for roads that are not in the system?
No, that also has to be used for roads that are in the system.
So where does the
That's-
money come from for roads that are not in the system? I missed that.
For roads that are not in the system, you've got two funding sources. You can do it as a revenue sharing project, or you can do it with local contributions, private or other third-party federal sources payable by way of the county.
Can you tell me how a revenue sharing project would work?
So we have different cycles. So you've got the smart scale cycle, and then you've got the revenue sharing cycle. The locality would apply for an application to improve the road,
So we would have to apply for that.
apply for those funds, and then put up a 50%
Smart
match.
scale is based on stuff like safety and stuff like
Yeah.
that a lot.
It would
So
not qualify for smart scale.
that's what
for
I
that.
want to be clear in my thinking here. So smart scale's out.
Yeah.
So the only method would be revenue
Revenue sharing
sharing.
or local private contributions.
And what on our list came off of that?
The roads that came off
Yeah.
were Albemarle and Piedmont Avenue in Mineral.
Piedmont Avenue. Where's Piedmont Avenue?
It's back, I
Oh,
think off of Fredericks Hall Road. Am I correct, Scott? Coming off from the fire department on Fredericks Hall Road, I think it's one of the roads off to the right. I
It
believe.
goes right behind the fire department, I
Okay,
believe. Yep.
there we go.
how is that not in the state system?
Some of it is. This was a little piece that was added. I think there's one, maybe two homes back there.
Oh, it's just a little.
It's
It's
just
a dead end.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's not a. Most of the roads in Mineral are passed through. This is like a dead end. Somebody built a house, dropped some gravel on it, creating a road, and they're trying to get
Yeah.
in. Does that sound right?
800ths of a mile, yeah.
800ths of a mile. Okay. So that one came off the list. Where's Albemarle? Do you know?
On the
in Mineral?
nor-
Also?
It is also in Mineral.
In the town? And is that how long was that road?
700ths of a mile.
And how many houses on that one?
There were actually no houses on that one. That was to connect either side of Albemarle, best I could tell. These were added to the plan actually before I got here, so I'm not sure the reasoning for it, but I could not identify any public need.
So it doesn't feel like we lost a lot there? Is that
In
is that
my
an accurate
opinion, no,
assessment?
sir.
Okay. Hi Supervisor Jones. West Green Springs Road is waiting on what do you call it?
A rural rustic resolution.
Rural rustic resolution. Is there any reason we should not give that to him so he can gravel and improve the road?
We voted to hard surface it all we brick pave.
Not, dude.
We can.
No,
Hey, I
you
knew that
can't.
would wake up. I knew that would wake up.
You're back. She's joined the meeting. She's back.
I'm back. I'm alive.
All I had to say was hard surface that road.
Yeah, no. I like
Is there any reason?
peace.
Is there any reason we can't provide that? He's waiting on the project for that. It's only
I
him
know
waiting.
he is, but you're going to be paving it and making it rural rustic from the section that we talked about, correct?
Yes, and it will remain gravel. So
And the other section will remain
already
gravel.
gravel around
It'll all remain
The
gravel.
whole thing's gonna be gravel.
It'll remain gravel from where the paving
Not the whole
stopped.
thing.
Yeah, because it's paved
It's
part of the
paved
way.
now, halfway.
But the section that we talked about that's on the plan will remain gravel.
Will remain gravel.
Yes, ma'am.
And that one house that they didn't want the paving in front of.
There will be no paving on this project at all, so.
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah. As long
So it
as it's
sounds
what
like
we
we can
talked
get
about.
that done. Okay, so we lost two little teeny projects, one 700s, one 800s. Nothing else changed.
Well, your rural addition, you had a rural addition balance entry that you cannot have a balance entry for rural addition.
What's that
So
mean? I don't understand. What is a balance entry?
That is kind of where the money was being held because there were no other rural additions being added, no other roads.
It's like a
being
general
made.
fund balance
So-
for
Well,
us.
how much do we have?
$340,223.
So we lost that?
You didn't lose it. It was reprogrammed into your countywide traffic engineering services. We just put it in a different balance entry.
Can we put it into paving some of these other things?
Yes, you can also, if you wanted to commingle the funds.
Commingle the funds. It doesn't sound good sitting up here. Commingling funds does not sound good at all.
You
Anyone
wanted to put your
commingle funds?
if you wanted to put your telefees and your district grant unpaved together, you could accelerate projects that are in the plan. In this sheet here, the roads that are in yellow are already in the plan. The roads that are green are in Green Springs. The roads that have no shading, you've got, they're the qualifying unpaved. With what you have in your countywide balance now, you could do all of these roads.
This year?
Not this year, it would be funded in the out year, in the 31, 32, you would basically fully fund. You would just set a priority for them, which we've got them kind of in a priority order now,
So-
Thurston, Turner's Mill.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So we have $340,000 sitting in a fund right now. And you were suggesting that we put it in the countywide engineering fund, and we're suggesting pulling it back, and you're suggesting not spending it till 31, 32?
Well, it's not, you don't actually have all of that money.
Okay,
in
that's
the-
good. I need to
Yeah.
understand. So,
Yeah.
so how much do we have? You said, I thought you said we had some money sitting somewhere.
There was, it had a $0 balance.
Okay,
And
that's
so
fair.
it's basically, as the money's coming in for the telefees, it's being programmed into that.
I'm sorry, I thought there was something other than telefees we were talking about just now. I've missed all this terminology. I didn't write it down.
So district grant unpaved, that has been programmed into the existing rural rustics.
District grant unpaved. Okay, I understand that. And another part of the money was the telefees. And then you said there was some monies that you were gonna move to the district engineering. What were those funds?
That was the money that was coming into the rural addition line item. That money is now going into your countywide traffic engineering services.
How much of that's coming in a year? Is that in addition to telefunds, in addition to
That
district
is
grant
basically
unpaved?
all of your telefee is going into that.
So
So,
that is telefees.
yes, sir.
They are the same. You're just calling them two different things.
Well, the telefee is the source. The account is where I'm putting it.
I understand. It's very confusing up here though some days. I'm sure if I'm confused, I'm sure everybody except for everybody over here is not confused, I'm sure. So, so you're calling the telefees and you're calling them by the fund you're putting them in.
Yes, so when I say we're taking your telefee money, so you're getting
$98,000.
about 98,000. And previously, it had been going into your rural addition balance entry. Because we can no longer fund rural addition with telefee money, it is now being put into the countywide traffic services line item.
So if we
So you're just moving
took the
it.
98,000 and didn't put it into countywide traffic services, and we put it into the paving of the existing roads, would that not accelerate some of this paving?
Yes, you could do that.
Is there any reason not to do that?
It's the board's plan.
Well, I don't understand what the difference would be for the countywide engineering. What comes out of that fund? What do we need that money for?
So if you
Is
wanted
that traffic
to,
studies?
you could do traffic studies. It could also be used potentially as a match for other projects, applications on the secondary system. So I know Supervisor Woodward and I, we talked. It cannot be used for anything currently in your Safe Streets for All because those are all on the primary system. So you would have to have a project on the secondary system. But it could be used for a match. It would also depend on the timing of when that funding was available. So you wouldn't be able to take 5 years worth of funding and then put it to an application, but you could take, something that hit this year and use that 97,000 towards funding part of a match on a secondary project. But there are different things you could use that for.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
since Mr. Williams brought up the magic word, rural additions, is there any funding for rural additions?
Yes, your personal funding.
The only two sources that are available are you could fund it through the revenue sharing program or local funds.
All right, now we got a list. I probably need to check it. We got a list that we used to keep. It wasn't but like
Is that this list?
No, he's
No,
talking about the
uh-uh,
rural
uh-uh.
addition streets.
Yeah.
we got a list. I don't know. It used to be 8, 9 roads on there.
Dusty Road.
At one point, it was 26.
At one point, it was 20 something. Did you keep is that list price updated? The cost of the roads on that list updated?
I don't know that I've got all of those roads on there. The last time we had done an estimate, I think was.
Well, for the sake of time,
Did
Mis-
Johnson
Mr.
get taken in? I thought it did.
Goodman,
Nothing.
can you just email that to the board and we have discussions about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So these are roads that are already in the state system. They're just gravel.
I thought that was,
No,
Rural additions are not in the state
Not the
system.
ones he's talking about.
Yours, it is.
these here? Yes, these are unpaid roads in
Yeah.
the state
In
system.
the system.
These are in the system, yeah.
But those rural additions,
You know what's not on here? Lucy Duke Lane.
some of those roads are here with
I
Jesus.
don't think
Qualifying roads,
What are you gonna do to qualify? It's in the state system.
50 vehicles per day to qualify.
You put a count out, I'll go up and down it 50 times for you. I don't care. I don't want it paved. I don't need that paved.
But if I understood you right, we could take this money that has come out of rural additions and apply it to some of these and move these up quicker?
So you haven't done that. Right now, you've got all the telefee money going somewhere else, and none of it going to the secondary system upgrades.
So of these,
None of it is going into here. We accelerated the projects. We could
None of
with
it's going
district
in
grant
here either, right?
Sorry.
None of the telefees money go to this sheet either?
No, it's all of your telefee is going in that last line on the second page.
so if we moved it
I
to
see that.
accelerate these, which ones would, I mean, how fast, for example, I guess the next one up is East Jack Jewett Road, 3.8 miles. West Green Springs, Poplar Avenue. Poplar Avenue's been on here since 2019, I think.
Well, the ones in yellow are already in your plan. The ones in green are in Green Springs, which.
Oh, yeah, you said that earlier.
We have, so the next one on the plan would be Thurston Road in
Yes.
Turner's Mill, 6th Street, Old Bickley Town Road, 2 County Lane. That's the priority that, I would recommend them on just purely off of the traffic count that we see on those roads. And then we would go out and do an estimate and then just start funding them as the money gets there.
Where does the revenue estimated cost, or the estimated cost of $512,550 in countywide traffic services come from? Is that just the sum of the current balance plus what's the income?
Yes.
That's not a,
Yeah,
that's not
so
a number, that's not really a budgeted number, that's how much income if you leave it all down there.
Yes. So by 2031, 2032, if you don't move anything out of that, there will be a balance of $512,000.
And that's the fund that, when somebody requests something from you, you just use and take things out of it, like if somebody goes speech to you, then you pay for it out of that fee. Okay.
You had a previous balance in there of about $10,000 was kind of what the
How much do
holding
we
was.
spend a year on that, do you know? You guess?
You didn't spend anything out of it the last 2 years. The
Okay.
year prior to that, you spent about $6,500.
So, if we just tuck a balance and put $25,000 in it, and put the rest into the paving, would that seem reasonable? And then evaluate every year if it came down, trying to keep a $25,000 balance?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I come.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
but it's a question. Is that reasonable? Or you say, no, Tony, that's not reasonable at all. It seems like it is to me, but, so if we looked at that and we said we're gonna maintain $25,000, and right now, there's still $14,415 in telefee funds from this year and $10,000 in balance, that's really close to $25,000, right?
Mhm.
So if we say next year's, we're just gonna take that money and use it for a addition in the 27, 20, and accelerate the next project on the list, that would move some stuff up, would it not?
Yes, sir. You would basically accelerate how quickly we would start Hart's Mill and,
And it would affect everything down the list. It
Yes,
would
sir.
push everything down the list up.
and then anything you wanted to add, the money would just roll over. And if we have balances remaining, so we do West Green Springs, if there's a balance remaining, it falls to the next project on the list, and so on and so forth, and just accelerates the funding.
Why don't we do this, unless somebody has a better idea? Why don't we take the 27, the 28, the 29, the 30, and the 31, and why don't we just stick 10K in each of those things
Let's break it up.
each year? Allocate 10K towards countywide traffic services? We can always change it when we come back next year and say, hey, you know what, we wiped out the $25,000, can we get some more back in? But for planning purposes, and then take the 87 and throw it over into paving schedule. Does that make sense, Scott?
That makes sense to me. And then would you use the priority as they are listed on this? as-
Unless somebody has a pain about it, I mean, I don't know, this is the order we've kept them in, I don't know why we would change the order today.
I mean, if there's another road in another district that somebody really wants paved, there's no heartburn for West Green Springs, so.
No, West Green Springs is fully funded.
Okay.
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go?
And
Okay.
it's been funded for
It has been.
2 years.
It has been, yeah.
So I'm afraid if you keep waiting, it's gonna cost you $362,000 to fool with.
So, and to be
Driveway
clear,
get no
when we
cheaper.
talk about adding roads in the plan, we're just talking about adding the ones in white right now, or do you want me to start adding?
No, don't touch the green roads, please. No,
Just want to be,
no.
I just want to be
Just
clear on
white
it.
roads, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that,
No.
I would think that you, gosh, is Turner's Mill really? That's where Sanders Wyatt lives.
I'm sorry.
Turner's Mill's where Sanders Wyatt lives. It's a dead-end road. There's 3 houses back there. What's the cost on Turner's Mill? Do you have it?
We haven't done any estimates on these
Okay.
yet.
All right, I would say just leave them where they are, and then let's do $10,000 a year out of the telefee funds into the countywide services, and we can evaluate it unless somebody feels differently about it.
So, Tony, you're talking about countywide services on the third page?
I am. So he's got the 26, 27 is our current year at 14,000 with a balance. There's a previous funding of 10 in there. So that's 24,000 if I'm reading that right. Am I reading it right, Scott?
Sir.
Which is really close to our 25 number. And then if we take 27, I'm going to use the first number, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31, that's our entire telefee money. If we stick 10 in each year for a placeholder and take 87 and throw back over, we can always adjust back. If we have a heavy year and we draw the fund down a lot and we need more for countywide, or we don't need it at all, is, hey, there's $25,000 still in here, we didn't spend any money this year, we can throw the 10 forward too.
You could choose to next spring change the priorities in the plan, or talk about how you want to
Reasonable to
reallocate.
me.
I mean, it seems like it's reasonable. I can't see putting $500,000 in a countywide traffic services fund that for the past 2 years we spent $6,500 out of. That doesn't make sense to me. I could be wrong. I'd move we do that. Is that what you want? Action?
So what we would need is with these adjustments to move forward to advertise for public hearing. Then when I come back to you on May the 4th, then we would need a resolution to approve.
Still want a
the
motion
plan.
to do that from this body, like
To
to direction?
advertise. We would need a motion to advertise with, as amended,
So,
and I'll send an
so why don't
amended
we,
plan to.
why don't we do that? And then in that motion, we'll keep this list the same, and we'll add the white roads in the order they are on the list.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Been properly moved and seconded that we direct VDOT to advertise the public hearing to accelerate in this unpaved road schedule. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Any questions?
6-year secondary plan meeting.
No,
Good.
thank you, Sarah.
Can I ask one question, Mr. Chairman, before we break this? On the normal secondary road paving, the list that you talked about is online, that you'll send the link to the board for. How is that list developed?
So annually, we have the roads inspected by a third-party agency. They give us a pavement condition rating. You take that rating and then the traffic count on that road, look at the pavement rating to see if which bucket it goes into to, without getting too technical, when you're on the paving curve, it's kind of flat and then it drops off pretty steep. If you're kind of in the flatter section of the curve, you're in the, it's very cheap to get it back to good if you're kind of falling down the slope as you're in the, repaving. So based on where it lands, they make a decision to, this is restorative, this is preventative, and then it's a function of the traffic count, and then the cost per lane mile, and that's how it's keyed in. Then we go to the residency, evaluate it in the field, and look to verify that the third party rated it correctly, and then if it's appropriate, we add it to the paving schedule. And we're building our schedules out now till what, to 2030. So we've got schedules built out for quite a while.
And that includes like patching on back roads, like the shorter patches on back roads that we all bounce over.
So
That's adding depth to the asphalt. I've learned about
the
this.
the maintenance patching is a function of the schedule. So when we're doing patching in advance, we're using the scheduled roads to inform our patching schedule. So we will generally try to patch roads that are on the annual paving schedule before the contractor gets there so that they can resurface, whether it's latex or paving before the contract. So same with 652, right? So we had to replace the pipes. That way, once it's repaved, we're not going in there 6 months later and digging up new asphalt to put a new pipe in or patch a bad base failure that we could have caught.
Can I ask a few questions? Do you care? I mean, okay.
No, go ahead.
Are any localities in the district more involved, or citizens in any district more involved than our board or our citizens are in Louisa? Is it just completely an administrative effort? I guess to Tommy's question, I mean, we've definitely got, especially after the storm, it's certainly no fault of yours, but, we all certainly have the roads that we travel more often and we feel like are the worst because they're the ones we see every
Sure.
day. And, I mean, is there any back and forth on that process like there is on this process?
No, sir.
Okay.
Can there be?
No, there's not even much back and forth with me on which roads get paved. We're kind of told, we recommend them, and they tell us, no, that road doesn't qualify.
Really?
Wow.
So, can we help you in that process anyway?
I'll look and see, but it's kind of a function that
I
comes
can
out of
answer that
Richmond.
question. No.
I'm saying if we could do something and help with that process, I mean, I think we'd be willing to, especially down in the Mountain Road District. If you want to bang on the table or something.
So,
Too
I
many
mean,
potholes.
we do look at the roads based on citizen calls or board member calls and, try to see where they all fit in. We've made adjustments. I know 652, we advanced that in the schedule. Of course, that was at the expense of other roads. So if I advance a road in the schedule, then an equal amount of lane mileage in that bucket.
Because you only
needs to
have a
get
certain
pushed
amount
back.
of money.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Jones?
Yeah, can you explain to me, and I know we've talked about this before, but the roads in green that are in the historic district, what is your priority as far as paving them. Is that something,
Zero.
yeah, is that something that VDOT, when it goes through the historic district, that we have to get special approval for? Or is it something that we could just set and do?
You can, if the board wants those roads paved.
no.
The board can tell me to pave them.
Okay.
As it stands right now, they are maintained to our gravel road standard. So regularly, the area headquarters will go out there, add stone.
So the Park Service
do dust
doesn't
control.
fall into that or anything? Yeah, no, I know the residents that live there don't want it paved, so I was just wondering what's kind of, so it's up to the board, the supervisors.
And I will add, if this ever comes up, that we can still put, if the board wants to put money towards those for additional maintenance, we can do that similar to what we're doing with West Green Springs and leave it as a gravel road. It doesn't have to be paved. You can use
Can be
district
rural
grant.
rustic.
You can use, it's basically the rural rustic without the hard surface.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like when you're done on West Green Springs.
Look like a gravel road.
It's like a gravel road.
Anyone else?
Nice ditches,
Thank you, Mr. Thornton.
Thank you.
shoulders.
All right, now close this workshop, and we'll come back in 26 minutes, 24 minutes.
Down there, I tell you that.